Dedede turned around as fast as his body could move. There he was, after 4 years of him not being around. There he was, shell and all.
Escargoon?
King Dedede said lightly. It was the only words he could get out. He was in shock that he was here. He thought after he had left he would never come back. Dedede had so many emotions going through him in that moment, he had no idea what to do or say. And neither did Escargoon. Escargoon, upon seeing him again, began to feel emotional fast. It had been so long since he had gotten to see him, or touch him, or even hug him. He had no idea what to do with himself.
Long time no see, sire.
Escargoon felt the tears well up in his eyes. He was so happy he was crying. He figured the king would probably laugh at him for being emotional like he used to, or something of that manner, but the reaction he got was very different from his expectations.
Goonies!
Dedede yelled as he ran up to Escargoon and practically tackle-hugged him like Kirby had done. The only difference was this time, it was way heavier.
I missed you so much! I can't believe it's you! I can't believe you're back!
Dedede yelled out a bit, hugging Escargoon close to him. He was just as emotional as he allowed himself to cry too. Escargoon was surprised. He wasn't being made fun of or anything. The king was so happy. Escargoon wrapped his arms around Dedede's back, with no hesitation.
I missed you too, sire. I missed you so much!
Escargoon choked out as he cried lightly into his robe. Dedede hugged him tighter in response, still crying like a baby. But at that point, Dedede didn't care. Escargoon, his friend, his partner in crime, his everything was back.
Looks like you haven't changed a bit, Goonie.
Escargoon looked up at Dedede. His smile couldn't have been bigger at that moment.
Good. I was hoping you would stay you while you were gone.
Dedede smiled gently, still being a bit loud because of the excitement of seeing him again. Dedede saying how happy he was about him being the same made Escargoon cry even more.
Oh, your majesty!
He yelped out once more, holding him close again. Dedede gently lifted him up in his arms and laughed a bit as he twirled around in joy.
I'm just so happy to see you again, Goonie Goo!
Escargoon, who would typically not allow him being picked up this high, allowed it just this once. He had never been this respected or missed. This felt amazing for him, truly amazing.
You too, sire. I can't be any more glad right now,
he said loudly and cheerfully, still crying due to all the emotions, but he was better than ever. Dedede tossed him up in the air, which freaked Escargoon out a little until Dedede caught him and started to hug him again. Escargoon felt as safe as he had felt in his arms. Kirby smiled big. His plan had succeeded at long last. The devious duo was back together again. Kirby hoped that after such a long time, maybe the two wouldn't be as mean to him. From the looks of it, the two had already seemed to be better than a few years ago. The two already treated him better separately, so surely together the two would treat him even better. He hoped for that anyway. But who knew what future brought for him in the duo? For now, Kirby watched them be happy and smiled as he watched. King Dedede put Escargoon down and wiped one of the tears from Escargoon's eyes.
Guess we still as emotional as we used to be, huh?
Dedede spoke in a sweet, joking way. Escargoon smiled back, not crying as much, but a little.
I suppose so. At least I am.
Escargoon said, looking away a bit. Dedede smiled, patting the mollusk's head.
It's okay, Goonie Goo Goo. I like you the way you are, tears and all.
He spoke sweetly. Escargoon looked at Dedede, wiped another tear away from his own eye.
Thank you, your majesty.
Escargoon spoke softly.
Anytime, old buddy. Hey, you got anywhere you gotta be right now?
Dedede asked Escargoon, wondering if this was only a visit or perhaps a moving in kind of deal.
Actually, no. I just got back. I need to find a place to rent and such. You know, the basics of a place to live.
Escargoon spoke gently as he looked up to his king. King Dedede smiled wide.
Hey, here's an idea. Why don't you move back into the castle? I mean, we rebuilt the whole thing like it used to be. Except bigger, but you get the picture.
Dedede said, as he scratched the back of his head nervously. Escargoon smiled even bigger now.
Of course I'll come back,
he said gratefully. Dedede grabbed Escargoon's hand.
Well, come on then. Let's get you all set up. We could even have a party for your whole returning thing.
Escargoon nodded in agreement and followed Dedede.
You can come too, Kirby.
Escargoon yelled out to Kirby. Kirby jumped up in excitement as he ran over to them.
Oh yeah!
He yelled out, as he hopped onto Escargoon's shell as they walked to the castle. Escargoon stared down at his hand and Dedede's. He felt his cheek get hot as he looked away from his king. He finally felt at home. He was finally home.